Hi y'all, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad that you found me and I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for joining me. This is your August 2017 Tarot Scope video and I'm sorry that it's being uploaded so late. I had uploaded my last two videos and for whatever reason didn't fully upload and I have already deleted those, so I'm reshooting this. So Aries, I'm sorry. I'll pull an extra card or two to make it right. Let's talk about what's going on for August. We've got the eclipses going on, and we have Mercury going retrograde. And Mercury is retrograde as I shoot this video now, so if I stumble over my words or I'm not clear, I apologize. I'm also shooting at a different location. I'm in West Monroe, the other side of the state from where I normally live. The lunar eclipse manifested some issues that indicated that I needed to come back to this side of the state, so I'm working on trying to relocate back over here. Fun times. The lunar eclipse occurred on the 7th of August, and it was at 15 degrees of Aquarius. It also impacts 10 to 15 degrees of the fixed signs, and that is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So if you know your chart, then you can look at where your planets or angles are. If this hits any of your planets, then yes, you will feel it in one way or another. If it hits any of the angles, it will be an important shift in your life. If it hits your ascendant, you will definitely feel it as well. Lunar eclipses are associated with endings, resolutions, culminations, chapters closing that you may not have had any sort of input in how it played out. Lunar eclipses are also associated with the feminine energy, and for you, Aries rising, the placement of the lunar eclipse was in your 11th house, and that was the house of your friends, groups, memberships, teams, and associations that you belong to. It's also the house of your future wishes, goals, and dreams. It also rules the internet. So some things going on for you in that 11th house that deal with endings or closures, possibly tied to a female. Could be an Aquarius, but could also have Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius strongly in their chart. On the 12th of the month, we have Mercury going retrograde in Virgo. Mercury rules Virgo, and Mercury also rules Gemini. So if you happen to know a Gemini or a Virgo, give them a little bit of leniency during the month of August, because their ruling planet is going backwards in the sky from our perspective here on Earth. Mercury rules thought, movement, and communication, so you're probably having issues dealing with those themes in life, and playing out even more so because this Mercury retrograde is happening in the 6th house. The 6th house is the house of your work and health, or the competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. It's also your daily grind, your daily to-do list, and the things that you do on a daily or regular basis to make your life and your environment, your body, move at a more efficient and effective speed. The big one, the eclipse, the solar eclipse in Leo that's occurring on the 21st of the month, will be impacting 24 to 30 degrees of the fixed signs. This is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. It will also be impacting 0 to 4 degrees of the mutable signs. This is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. The solar eclipses are associated with beginnings, new chapters, new birth, new life, new breath being breathed into the house that this eclipse is occurring in. It's a solar eclipse, and it's associated with the masculine energy. Playing out in your 5th house, the house of Leo. This is where I think of it as the house of sparks, the spark of love, the spark of life, the spark of creation. And this can kind of fall out into different areas of life, but it speaks to your social life and where you go to blow off steam. It's where you go to be a kid. It's where you fall in love, and it's where you make your babies. It's also where your creative pursuits are. So anything that you put your heart and soul into, I would say, would be a 5th house matter. It's the things that you hold dear to you, that you care very, very deeply about. I also think of the 5th house as where you have the most skin in the game. It's literally where your DNA is. So Those are the major things that are going to be occurring for us throughout the month of August. There are other things that are going on, but I really didn't speak about it in the other videos because I was having throat issues. So I'm going to be fair on that end. I'll pull an extra card or two because this video is coming to you much later than I ever intended. I kind of haven't really been active on YouTube since I did my last uploads because of what has occurred in my personal life. I'm not going to get into it right now, but I'm sure y'all might hear about it eventually. But, oh my goodness. It hit my home sector, home and family. For those of you who have been following me for quite some time, my oldest son injured his foot last year in October. He was the center for West Monroe High School football and had to have surgery, and just recently had surgery to remove the screws that were put in his foot to hold tendons in place, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, he re-injured that foot. And while I was over here, there were a lot of things that were illuminated for me. I got to see things through a different perspective. And that's what eclipses do. They really do give you an opportunity to see things from a different light. I like to think of it as walking into a room and having your eyes adjusted or acclimated to the light of the room, and then for whatever reason the power goes out and then it's dark and your eyes are then acclimated to the darkness, and then the lights come back on. Well, that room looks different. Nothing's changed about it, but you've got a different perspective. You see things differently about it, right? I pulled your tarot cards while I was speaking. The bottom card represents the underlying theme or the overarching energy of the spread. The top three are for clarity. If you need a time frame reference, we can go past, present, future. I'm going to pull from the Illuminated Tarot deck by Caitlin Keegan. I really like this deck as a means for clarity. She has reduced the major arcana down into the minor arcana, so some of these cards have dual purpose meanings. I'll bring forth as many of the meanings as I can for you when applicable or relevant, depending on what cards fall. What I'm going to do is pull two cards from this deck, the top and the bottom from the cut deck, and I'll pull 3 oracle cards from the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck. Pardon me. Top card, bottom card. And now I'm shuffling the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck for y'all. For my Aries viewers and friends for this August 2017, any guidance, clarity, hope. Alright, I'm going to cut the deck. And what I'm going to do is take the top of each of the 3 that I cut the deck into. So, here we go. Aries, what I'm going to do now is hit the pause button. I'm going to flip these cards over and do the tarot math, and I'll be right back with your story. So hang tight, y'all. I'll be right back. Hi Aries, I'm back with your cards, so let's go ahead and get started. The underlying theme or overarching energy for this spread for August 2017 is the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. The 8 of Pentacles speaks to the theme of change, and it deals with education or engagement. The fact that it's in reverse makes me think of Mercury being in retrograde, giving you the opportunity to rethink your education or your engagement level in what you're wanting to produce or able to produce. The Pentacles represent Earth sign energy, and the Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And the number 8 speaks to the 8th house, and that house is ruled by Scorpio. And it deals with life, death, and rebirth, other people's money, sexuality, primal, basic, or human instincts. It's the house of regeneration, transformation, or metamorphosis. This is where the phoenix rises from the ashes. I see this card as well as a journeyman, someone who is proficient enough to do it on their own without having someone over their back, but they're not fast enough to be very productive. They're still learning. They'll get better at it probably once Mercury goes direct. And Mercury will go direct on September the 5th at the solar eclipse point. So you'll be revisited by solar eclipse energy in September. You'll get a different perspective on what occurred, or what is occurring. This 8 also could be speaking to it being August and being the eighth month of the year as well. The first card in the top 3 for clarity for the past positioning is the 5 of Wands upright. This card represents fire sign energy, and that is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I feel like this is speaking to the the solar eclipse that is occurring on the 21st of the month. It's occurring in the 5th house for Aries. And this is a card that deals with adversity, disagreement, and strife. I see this as play fighting that turns into something more serious. I see this as disagreements amongst friends or friendship circles, friendship groups. I see this as honestly just like very aggressive, argumentative kind of energy going on. And it fell in the past position, but I feel like it's speaking to what is coming for you for the solar eclipse. And it may be the fact that you see things in a new perspective, and that's giving you the energy to fight for what you believe in. But it may be an uphill battle. And it may be a battle that you've had to fight in the past, or it's something from the past, like I said, coming back to revisit you. The second card in the top 3 for clarity is the 6 of Swords. This card can represent the present energy for you Aries out there as well. The number 6 speaks to the theme of growth, and this card represents a transition or a rite of passage. I also see this as moving into or out of drama or the dark night of the soul. This could also speak to Mercury going retrograde in that 6th house of work and health, or competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. Now, the one thing that I want to make you realize or recognize is that these swords, they still have to go through them. So it could be that this is a situation where you have to fight the battle in your mind before you get through the situation. It could be a situation that's more in your head than is in reality as well. Could be that you need to give yourself this time during the Mercury retrograde to rethink and reassess where you're at. That's not a bad thing to do during Mercury retrograde. Swords representing air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini is ruled by Mercury as well. Mercury ruling thought, movement, and communication. Aside from Gemini, it also rules Virgo. I feel like some of you are deciding that whether it's time to leave or not in a situation of work. Like you want to go back to school so you can get more feathers to put in your cap, or you recognize that you're going to have to reassess where your time is so you can be more productive with what you're trying to do. The card that fell in the future position is the 10 of Swords, and this fell in reverse. The 10 speaks to the theme of completion. It also speaks to the 10th house on the astrological wheel. That house is ruled by Capricorn, and it's the house that I think of through the lens of William Shakespeare. He said all the world is a stage, and I see that 10th house as the stage that you approach the world on, and it's how the world knows you. It's through your career, your status, and your reputation, your dealings with authority figures in your world, in your life, or in their field of expertise. The 10th house is also a house of destiny. Swords, again, representing air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This card deals with defeat, loss, and crisis. It's not a shocker that this card fell like this, because you've got Pluto transiting in your 10th house. Pluto is the planet of deep change, deep transformation, deep renewal. But it's one of those things that's occurring at all times, but we really don't notice it or see it unless we have a meta perspective or a before and after picture to look at it. I think of it much like coastal erosion, something that's occurring all the time, but we don't see it unless we've got those before and after pictures, like I said. And again, with it being in reverse, I feel like this is you dealing with the fallout and the anguish of making the decision in your work sector, your career sector. Thinking about your status, thinking about your reputation. Some of you may have already done this step, and some of you may be going through this step or facing this step, because we're all born at different times. And I say we because I have an Aries sun, April 16th. Shout out, babies. So I did the tarot math for the astrological house placements associated in the Rider-Waite tarot cards that fell up top. It ended up being 29. 2 plus 9 is 11. And that is the 11th house for you. The 11th house is where the lunar eclipse occurred. Lunar eclipse is the house of your friends, groups, memberships, teams, and associations that you belong to. It deals with your future wishes, goals, and dreams in your bucket list. Lunar eclipse is dealing with endings, closures, resolutions, chapters that you didn't have much of a say in ending, or how they happened, how they played out. Also could possibly be dealing with a female. It definitely looks like it's a work situation, a work, career, going back to school, trying to better yourself in one way or another. And it seems like you're continuing this fight. This is something that you've been struggling with. The lunar eclipse will give you perspective. Sometimes it takes a little time in between the eclipse occurring and the realization occurring, but it will come. Meditate on it, though. From the Illuminated Tarot card, I pulled Mercury is in retrograde, y'all. From the Illuminated Tarot deck, I pulled for y'all the Two of Diamonds, which is reflective of the High Priestess in this card deck. It deals with juggling, multitasking, and perception. It also represents the moon. This card also represents the Two of Pentacles. So, the Two of Pentacles deals with duality, and it deals with the theme of trying to find or seek balance, or finding adaptability in your life as well, possibly in your resources, being able to improvise with what you have and what's going on in your world, or what's going on around you. Second house, the 2. Second house deals with your money, earning ability, your self-esteem, your possessions. Anything you point to, classify, identify, or introduce as mine would qualify as a second house item in my book. The High Priestess is a major arcana card, is reflective of the moon, which is it deals with the theme of the unconscious. It deals with the intuitive nature of things. It deals with the psychic nature of things. This card deals with feelings and the expression or expressing of emotions, and it also deals with possible harboring of secrets. And the second card that fell for you is the Five of Clubs, which is representative of the Five of Wands, which already fell for you in this spread. So it speaks to me very strongly that you are dealing with some serious adversity. This card also represents the major arcana card of the Devil, and that card is reflective of the zodiac sign of Capricorn, and that deals with persistence. Adversity and persistence really seems like it's going to be the theme of the month for you, and I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I have an Aries sun. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I want to bring good news. Devil card dealing with temptation, control, and attachment. It could also be speaking to the need to confront one's own self-imposed limitations. It could also be the fact that you need to, or someone around you, someone close to you, possibly a Capricorn in your world, needs to look at their vices, their codependency issues, not just on people, but also things and situations as well. Capricorn, again, that 10th house, and we spoke about the 10th earlier with the swords. It could feel like you've been stabbed in the back by your friends, possibly a Capricorn. This person could also have some very strong lunar energy for them, meaning possibly a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This is a general reading, so it could really be a combination of many different things, but I know the moon rules Cancer, and I know the devil represents the sign of Capricorn. And you've got a bunch of swords energy here. I think like there's a big struggle going on in your mind, Aries, about what to do, who to trust, how much control to give, how much attachment to have or not have, and to who, and for why, and what reasons. Major emphasis on the Five of Wands. Be careful with the disagreements and the strife that you face. Be careful with your words. Speak your truth, but speak it in love. I pulled for you from the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck the Black Tourmaline card. This deals with protection and purification. It can help heal and amplify the vibrations of the root chakra. It reads, Black Tourmaline is the protection stone par excellence. It creates an energy shield around you, deflecting negative energy and sealing holes in your auric space. You've pulled this card because you feel ungrounded or unsafe, and you need to shield yourself immediately with white light. Meditate with Black Tourmaline to feel grounded and protective energies, and to create a safe space for yourself. The second card that was pulled for you is Tiger's Eye, and it deals with stability, discernment, and strength. It can help heal and amplify the vibrations of the solar plexus and root chakras. Tiger's Eye activates the workings of the mind in profound ways while protecting you and imbuing you with deep, ancient wisdom. You've pulled this card because you seek balance and mental clarity and empowerment in your decision-making. So meditate with Tiger's Eye to weigh both sides of a situation, to gain insight from your guides, and to come to fair and informed conclusions. Tiger's Eye. And finally, the Pink Agate card. It deals with transformation, peaceful change, and soul path. It can help heal and amplify the vibrations of the heart chakra. It reads, Pink Agate summons your muse and helps you to bring your unique gifts forward in the world in order to be of service to those around you. You've pulled this card because you're going through a major life change or have strayed from your soul path. So meditate with Pink Agate to feel a sense of refuge and to get back on track and to act in service to the collective. I feel like some of you are dealing with that whole crisis of conscience between... I know that I've done a lot of private readings for people who don't know where they want to be. It's like they feel torn between where the money is and where their heart is. And it feels like that may be the case for many of you. And it may not be just in a career situation. It could be in a reputation or a status situation. Your reputation is who you are, and your status is what people know you as. Those are things that are very fluid and can change quickly with a divorce or with a marriage certificate, with a birth certificate or a death certificate. Those are things that can change very quickly with job loss or an immense job gain. So just be mindful. I'm sending you a lot of love, Aries. I do hope that you're well, and I'm sorry that this video, like I said, is up later than I intended. Mercury's owning me all. Forgive me. Please take care of yourself, and please be kind to yourself. Save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. I'm going to be around for the solar eclipse to pull some cards for us. Still don't know if I'm going to stream that or not yet, but I have just a few days to make up my mind, right? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this reading, Aries. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I'll see you around soon. Again, take care. Namaste. I love you, Aries. And bye, y'all.